Hi, this is a quick demo of using the twarc version 2 to talk to the Twitter version 2 API. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to install twarc and how to configure it and how to search for tweets and collect tweets from the filter stream, so live tweets, and also how to search for historical tweets with a new academic research product track from Twitter. So the first thing you'll need to do is to install twarc, and that's done with the standard Python package manager tool pip. And so if you install Python 3, you should get a pip command with that. And you should be able to just type pip install twarc, and it'll go out and get twarc and its different dependencies. And what this does is it installs the library and then also installs a command line. It actually installs two command lines. So the old command line for twarc version 1 is still available. So if you happen to have used that in the past, it's still available and usable. The version 1 API is still available from Twitter for the most part at the moment, even though they're going to be retiring some of it this year apparently. But you also get a twarc2 command, and so twarc2, when you just type that, it prints out the help for it. And some of this should look familiar to you if you've used twarc in the past. Some options for setting your keys if you don't want to have them stored. The main thing to look at are these subcommands or commands that you give to twarc2, which it'll use to interact with the API. And so one of the most common ones is to search, right? So if we type search, if I can type right, and then help, you'll see. Right. I can't search yet because I haven't yet configured it. And so here twarc is telling me, well, you're trying to run search, but you've never configured twarc before. And so here is where you need to enter your keys. And so it instructs you where to go over on Twitter to to create an app and basically get your keys. The most common way to configure twarc2 is using what's called a bearer token. And so this identifies the application itself. It's easiest because you just have to enter in one string, which I happen to have copied already. I'm going to paste it in here. If you want, you can optionally use the application key and secret for user mode authentication. This is not as useful currently as the version 1 Twitter API, which used user authentication pretty heavily in addition to app authentication. But currently the search and stream endpoints from Twitter support the app authentication, which a bearer token will work fine for. So I can skip this for now, or if you prefer, you can enter it in. And you should see a message about having written the config file, so your bearer token has been written to that file, or mine has. And then it gives us a little friendly message about good luck using the tool. And so now when I run search help, I should see some help information about the search command. These are options that I can pass in, which I'm going to show you in a second. But the main thing is that we need to give it a query, right? And so what this looks like really is I'm going to use a very simple query of the keyword Black Lives Matter. And when I enter that, I'll see a bunch of data getting printed to the screen. And these are tweets that have already been created that are being retrieved from the last 7 days of tweets. Now usually what you do is you'll write that to a file of some kind, right? And then save that data for analysis in some other utility. So one thing that's worth showing here too is that with the version 2 API, the response that comes back from Twitter is quite different. So the JSON, the representation of a tweet is very different. So see the blog post for our description about that. One handy little trick for working with Twitter data from the command line is to basically what we call flattening the data. So previously, with a version 1 API, data came back from Twitter's API kind of in a line oriented, where every line is a distinct tweet as a JSON object. And what flatten will do is we'll take the envelope of data that comes back from Twitter and sort of make it into line-oriented JSON, which you don't have to do, but it can be useful at the command line. So, for example, if I want to pipe this data to JQ, which is a command line utility for querying JSON data, I could flatten it and then print out the text of these tweets that are being retrieved, right? Just to see what they are. So the other aspect to using twarc is collecting live tweets from the stream, right? And so twarc2 has two different commands that you need to use for collecting live data. This is a departure from the Twitter 1 API, where when you connected to the stream, you would give it a query and it would sort of return you the tweets that match that query. Now Twitter has moved to a model where you basically administer a set of rules, on the server, through the API. You set up a bunch of rules, and then when you connect to the stream, you get all the tweets that match those rules. So when you start out, I actually may have some set up already because I was playing around with them earlier. Let's see. So when you say twarc stream rules, you'll get, I ran the wrong command there. It's twarc2, remember. You can see there's a few different commands that we can use with stream rules. One of them is called list, which will list the active rules that I have set up. So I actually did set up two rules earlier for Black Lives Matter and BLM. And so when I connect to the stream here now with twarc2 stream, I will see tweets as they happen which match either BLM or Black Lives Matter. You can see that there's some coming through. Now you can add new. So here's the two rules that I have. I could add another one, right? Using the add command, we could add, for example, another term. I added Ferguson here, and so now when I list my rules, I'll see I have 3 rules, and similarly you can remove them. I think it's remove. Actually, I'm not totally sure I remember. No, it's delete. Okay, so, and then to delete it, you basically just use the name, actually let me list them first. So you use whatever the keyword or query is for that rule, you use to remove it. So I'm going to delete Ferguson. And so now when I list them again, I don't see any more. So that's the basics. So the last thing I'll leave you with is searching for historical tweets. So this is something that Twitter has introduced for their academic research product track. You can basically apply to have your account made into an academic account, which gives you access to the full archive of tweets, which is pretty cool. So for example, if I go back to my search command, let me get the help here. You can see that there's an archive option that you can pass to search, and also you can use start time and end time to tighten the window of tweets that you're looking across. So let's say, for example, I wanted to look for tweets from Jack Dorsey that were sent before. So Twitter started on March 21st, 2006. So let's say we want to get tweets that were sent before April 1st, 2006. And I'm going to, if I ran it like that, I'll get an error, right? And the error is basically saying, well, you know, the end time must be on or after this date here, which is a week ago. And the reason for that is that I didn't pass the archive command, right? Or the archive option, which is the indicator that that you want to search for the previous, the full archive, basically. And so, we could, again, here use JQ to, we'll flatten our data to make it line-oriented JSON, just to make it easy to work with. And we could look at the created at. And I'm going to add a little bit to this JQ output here. I'm going to get the text of the tweet too. Let's see if this works. Oh, I guess I must have escaped something wrong there. Oh yeah. It's a little bit tedious. JQ isn't for everybody, but it is useful for testing some things at the command line. And so you can see here, these are some tweets that were sent and the dates. And then these are some this is the text of the tweets that was sent. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to do for this demo. There's a lot more to the twarc utility. I mean, there are plugins for interacting with converting the data to CSV, extracting videos. We're in the process of creating more of these plugins now that it's possible, because basically these get installed just like you installed twarc. You can install, like, for example, the videos plugin, and this will go out and install the videos plugin and any of its dependencies. So this has a dependency on YouTube DL, and once you've done that, you can see from the help page that now we have a new subcommand called videos, which will download videos referenced in the tweets. And so we're hoping that this plugin mechanism is a way to extend twarc in different useful ways. You can write your own plugins and share them and make them available to other people. All right, so that is actually all I'm going to talk about. Thanks for watching.